and it gave your body time to rest, and yeah, that's it.
Maybe, but I've had layoffs like that before, and I didn't come in. I didn't come in that good. It took another show or two, and then it happened.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
so it's weird.
Yeah. Right here we have here. This is from a man KL. He just came through. KL the Wanderer. He says, "Yes, yes, you all. It don't stop." Also, this is from Money J. He says, "Rolando G. Not just that, everything. I mean, he says everything." This is from Nix. I'm not gonna say also. Say, "Hey there, hi to Jada, and she looks great." That's a fan. Also, my brother, XA Gucci 23 come through. Shout out XA. Hello, George Page. Chat Jada. Hey, do XA. Also, this is from Money J says, I like the purple fingernails, very pretty. Yeah, he gets
Oh, thank
the
you.
purple fingernails. And also, it's from my man XA says, keep up the good work, big brother. Thank you, little brother. I appreciate that. So we're going to jump over in here to our IG because she has pics from the show. I know you guys already seen the pics, but guys, you know my rules. When we have these ladies on here, and Jada's a beautiful lady, she got her pics out. I know you guys are excited. No he picks. Stop it. Get some help. Calm down. All right. Behave yourselves. So we got here, and this is from the. I'm seeing that. I mean, she looked really good. I think this was her. To be honestly, I think other than maybe that year at Savannah, this was your best look. I mean, you because you have that great athletic build. You're
Yeah,
very
there
you're
was.
tall.
I did have a pretty good look for a couple of the shows in 2020.
Yeah. And I think like with Savannah, and I think you look pretty good at Tampa because and I think you bring in your condition, look your back look pretty good. I mean, what was critique from the judges? What they told you?
Oh, I don't play that game.
Uh, I forget. Yeah. But sometimes the girls like to always ask
No,
the judges.
no, because I already knew what I needed to do. A little bit more tightening could have helped me, but that's what a second and third show does for me.
Yeah, because I remember Heather Grace right here at the area beside Mimi. She did that show in Reno, and she
Yeah,
was like next to the bottom, and she was third at the Masters show. That's Laura right there on your other side, and I think Laura's also competing this weekend at the Romanian Muscle Fest.
yeah,
This is Doctor. I forgot her name. I was supposed to get an interview with her, but I don't know what happened with that week. She has some. She's a doctor. She's busy, so if that fell through. And this was some pretty good. And this is the first time the Daytona was a Olympic qualification because the last few times it was
right,
mostly a Masters show.
right.
Hmm. And like I said,
Which the girl that won that class had already won Masters.
uh-huh. Yeah, that's Mimi because I
Just
think Mimi was 12th at the Olympia.
13th.
13th, 13th. Yeah, I think we were like doing like that Easter that Halloween Eve. We did a little live stream. Um,
So yeah,
me and Keith and Lori, was it Lori and Kale were there. We were like, give our critiques. And Keith really was impressed by Mimi. I mean, she has that good white shorts. I think she did good like she did last year. She probably, I don't know, maybe it fell short. I don't know, maybe she might need to switch divisions. So what and this is her working out.
what do
You
you
see,
mean switch divisions?
I don't know, maybe way figures going, you know,
Nah, that's not
yeah,
going to help her.
yeah, or
She
just
just she's gonna be one of those girls that she might win a show, but George, you know this. Like she's been to the Olympia before. It's
yeah,
been the same thing. Okay, like
yeah.
it's you know people. I'm not trying to get political here, but you know me, I talk truth. A lot of people said honestly it could have went either way between her and I. Some people were swinging more towards me because they thought that I had more of the poses. But you got to think she's done the show before. She's been to the Olympia and she lives in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think they're going to go with?
Usually to go with the hometown girl. Yeah,
Duh.
yeah, yeah. And here's her exercise and do a little leg work. And I know you guys. Hey, that's why I say, guys, keep your Kleenex and everything off your hands. No chasing sticky. And it's just
That
like I
was
said.
Chicago.
Yeah, the Chicago. That was back in 2020.
Yep.
Yeah,
That was the fifth show, and I was starting to go back downhill. I shouldn't have done it. I was showed out by then.
Uh-huh. Well, you know how it is.
My favorite look was the Optimum and the New York Pro that year.
Yeah, you know how you sometimes it's about the push. You know, you want to see how you do. It's being competitive. That is with you ladies, with all your competitors. I think this is from was that from the Ultima
No, that's
or
Tampa. That was my
Tampa?
second show that year.
Yeah, you look pretty
That's all
good. Yeah,
Tampa.
yeah. Like I said, it's just a process. You know, she has these like here's her. She's Pocahontas. I've been hearing from the blue horn moon. Sorry, I remember my
I
niece and
love
nephews.
Pocahontas.
I remember my niece and nephews used to love it when they were kids. I didn't care much about it. Maybe I'm too old school Disney, like Donald Duck and them.
Aw.
And who's the horse? You see, you got a horse there.
That is Happy. I did
Yeah.
not name him. I would not have named him that name, but he's a great horse.
Uh-huh. And she's
I,
very
I want to
forgiving.
change his name.
Well, it's not too late. Horses don't know what their names are. You just call them a horse. Here it is. She
He
is the
knows.
queen. She's the queen of dragons. This was for Halloween. That was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I did the same thing this year, and I went to a Halloween party with friends of the neighborhood, and I won best costume. So
Mhm. That's pretty good. I mean, I like the original Game of Thrones. This new one, I don't know. I just really got into it. You know,
well, this new one is the prequel to Game of
the
Thrones.
original.
So without it, you wouldn't have Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it just killed me how they really did Jon Snow. He could have been the king of the seven kingdoms or six kingdoms. The what's the face? She took away the north.
Well, here's good news for you.
Hmm.
George R. Martin has not released the final book, so we don't know how he truly is going to end it. The Winds of Winter has not been released yet, and so the TV series ended it their way, but the actual writer of the whole entire series has not ended it yet. So you never know. He might do something different with Jon Snow.
Yeah, that'd be a great thing for him to do because you know what? I think a lot of people were disappointed. I mean, I watched that last season, and it was some parts were pretty good, but then at
So
the
if
end,
anyone's trying to figure out who I'm trying to characterize in those pictures, like this one right here, there is in the future series coming out for House of Dragons. There is a uh, character named Bela Targaryen. She is young right now, so I'm basically her in the future. Season 2 is coming out this spring. She will be an adult then, and so like she's going to be super popular now because now she's an adult. But the thing is, I already started dressing like her like a year ago, so I was already on that.
and a while back, he had got himself a new automobile. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I know you.
I already
Maybe,
traded that one in and got a different one.
yeah, I remember you were doing. There was a lot of stuff you were going through with that other one. I mean, and I can tell you, I can understand. I just had to get a starter for my car. Then the guy didn't had to put another wire in because one of the wires wasn't working. Yeah, it's just if I could shoot a car like a horse and kick it down a mountain, I would, but I can't. Yeah, but like I said, and you really have come a long way. How you started and where you are now. I mean, still waiting, like I said, for you the opportunity to finally make it to the big dance. So
Yeah,
the
I don't
debate
know. I
is,
tried to this year. They could have easily sent me. They so could have.
yeah. But like I said, it was more like they went with the hometown girl. And like I said, I reached out to Mimi. I hope to do an interview with her sometime soon. I think she looks pretty impressive. She's come from a long way here too. It's a second Olympia, and it's where with physique, there's more opportunities for y'all ladies compared to women's bodybuilding. You get there's already at least two qualifications for next year. You have the remaining Muscle Fest. You have the other show you don't want to do because particularly who's the owner of that show. And then next year, I think they're supposed to be the new triple old dynasty show where you're gonna have women's bodybuilding, which I've been talking about because I think women's bodybuilding I think they talk about you're gonna lose Portugal. I don't know what's gonna happen in Puerto Rico because I was surprised when that was taken off the list.
Yeah.
There's been talk about trying to get a show in Texas for a long
Mhm.
time. And technically with the Rising Phoenix, as long as Andrea there, It's not. You're not going to qualify. It's just it's just a mess. Here we got here from my man Money J says he says this. He says very athletic look. Yes, and he says this. He says great. Back looks great. Yeah, he likes your back. Also, he says she kind of is also be Black Mulan. Would you consider that for maybe next Halloween, like a Black Mulan? You get a little stuff dragon. Yeah. Right.
I only dress up in Halloween as characters I could actually be. So if you look at the girl that is Bela, you'll understand why I dressed up like her.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done Storm, I've done Elektra. I was thinking about doing the Star Wars girl. Oh gosh, her name just left me.
Ray?
No, it's
No.
the new one. The new one.
The
It'll
one
come to
that's
me.
one of the quizzers,
It'll come to me.
or is it was
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka? Ahsoka. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I could be her.
I
Yeah.
think Ahsoka.
I will only be characters I actually could be.
Yeah. Because with your look and complexion, you're very, multiracial looking. That's what they really are talking about. Like that's why guys like The Rock and Vin Diesel do so well
Yeah.
because they have a certain look. There's like, that's what's they really like the characters that can blend into the character, even if the character is considered white or black. It was just something they can mix.
Well, Bela in the movie or in the TV series, she's a brown chick. She just has silver hair. So it worked. I slapped in purple contacts. I put the silver in my hair, and I was Bela.
This is
and I was no stranger to doing that to my hair because when I played Storm, X-Men Storm, I would have to do the same thing to turn my hair white because Storm has white hair. So
yeah. Also, this is from Money J says very good in first show as a women's physique competitor. Not her first show. It's
first show of the season.
The first of the season. It's been a while. She last competed back in 2020. Then she switched over to 2021. It was that same year we
did bodybuilder.
It was both you and Mela were told to switch over. But Mela, she jumped down and did New York. You did New York too, but you did physique. And Mela won her first first women's bodybuilding qualification because she's been to the Olympia at least 2-3 times before that in physique.
Yeah. She's no stranger to the Olympia.
Yeah. And this year, she's also doing the Romanian Muscle Fest. And we talked about this because I saw that Fear Bobby announced it earlier the week, and I just posted on I've been so busy working on some other stuff. I posted that Mela is competing at the Romanian Muscle Fest. And me and some other people talking, why? I mean, I like Mela. I've been in contact with her through email. I love to do an interview because I know maybe she gets herself down and might do it. But I think she might need to take a step back.
But didn't she win it last year? Is she trying to requalify for the Olympia or something?
She's trying to requalify. But remember, it was about 2 years ago that after she went to the Olympia the first time, when she was qualified the first time, was still top 5 because she was number 4. And she decided to do Romania, but she took 3rd. First was Nadia Capasoto, then Obraka Nurjugovic. They were first and second. She was 3rd. Then she did Toronto, because Toronto was I think 2021 was at the end of 2021, and she qualified there in Toronto. And then, she...
What qualified her this year? Because I thought she won one of those shows out there.
The Atlanta Pro. That's the new Linda Murray show in Atlanta. You remember? Linda had Savannah, but they closed down Savannah. I went to see that show last year, and they closed it down. Guess the person we named not speak was there. She was there, and she, because I think Mela took first and Michaela took second. And people talk about, Michaela should have won. I don't know. Michaela, we talk about this, how her physique is just.
I mean, I'll tell you this much. She sure shouldn't have been 6th at the Olympia.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. He should have been 4th. But I'll keep that to myself as to why.
Yeah. Well, the lady who took 4th, I had a nice interview with her, Sherry Piami, great lady. It was her first Olympia, and she was so happy. Her 2 boys were there. her daughter wasn't there because her daughter's a nun. I remember she told me how she wished her daughter maybe would end up like her, have kids, be married. But the young girl found her calling. I respect that. There's like I said, a lot of debates. Like one is some people still kind of shocked that Sarah Vilgus won. I mean,
I don't know why. Why is that such a shock?
you know how there's people were rooting for Natalia for so much because from what I heard about Natalia, and then also Sarah was accusing her of creating some different social media platforms and stalking her. So the thing is, she's a rich woman's wife. I mean, a rich woman's wife, and I wouldn't take anything seriously. She really don't need to compete because she's doing. I think she's doing for the hell.
Neither does Natalia. Her parents are rich, and she's the only child.
Ooh, so spoiled.
So you could make an argument for both. Both of them really don't have to do the sport, but they do.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Sarah doing it because to me, she's doing more for the sport.
Yeah, she is. Because she put up the money for women's physique at the like I said, I'm not a big Sarah fan. Physique kind of reminds me of I did a comparison with her and another lady I follow, Sheila Black, and they had that same lean, athletic look. Like I even compared you with Sheila Black because you share that kind of common look. She is doing more because when the Arnold was going to kick out women's physique, she stepped up, said she offered to pay the prize money and also
and she also doesn't go to shows and take wins for the heck of it to block other people from going.
Yeah,
that's something Sarah would never do. If Sarah's the reigning champion of the Olympia, Sarah's not doing other shows. Sarah's going to do the show that she needs to keep winning to keep her title. So like there's a lot of reasons why I do have respect for her because she seems to do what a true champion should do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like these girls, like these big time girls that win the big shows at the Olympia, once they're there, once they get that title, that's what they focus on. They don't focus on anything else. Now, I know bikini girls, who knows what they might do, but but for the most part, like most of the time, like, bodybuilding and physique and heck, even fitness and for the most part, wellness and most of the time figure too, although she used to do Rising Phoenix, but she doesn't do it anymore. They keep their feet right in the sandbox of the Olympia once they get the title. I thought it was crazy seeing someone that got the title and then you're going to put yourself in regular qualifying shows and you're going to take two of those placements from two other girls. Like, what?
Well, I remember I had conversations with this lady, Miss Robin Mays, who competed a couple of times this year. She did the Masters Olympia. Also, she did the World Championships. She told me it's about competitions, about saying competitive. And, I can understand the point where, I know it's competition, but then when you're already qualified to Olympia, and then also you do
there's really no competition when you're Miss Olympia. Yeah. The only competition is going back to the Olympia and reclaiming your title. So really it's like you're in competition with yourself, making sure you stay or get better and make sure no one passes you and takes that title. That's all your job is as Miss Olympia.
Iris, when she was doing it, because the fact was she was making only $25,000 for Miss Olympia, and then she just did.
Yeah, but Iris was only doing another big show. She was just doing the Arnold. That's okay.
Yeah,
they were doing that. I'm talking about just regular tier shows, regular Olympia qualifying shows. I'm not talking about Rising Phoenix. I'm not talking about Arnold's. I'm talking about regular shows. When you see a Miss Olympia step on stage and compete in a regular show, to me, that's just baffling.
Yeah. We got from Money Jake Johnson says, she looks more like Pocahontas. Yeah. Also, this is from him. Money J says Jada could play and the character in action flick. I feel like, Also, he says I have a long ass list of characters. It's pretty good. Then KL says she looks Black Asian if it was just a jokey joke.
No, it's the native that they're seeing.
Yeah, and also. This is from Money J. Says, I would be big supporter, hoping you get a chance to make to the Miss Olympia, Jada. And also this is from KL Wander. He says, why do you compete if these competitions seem unfair, Jada? Well,
That's
you
kind of like why I stopped competing. That's why I'm only doing like a show a year.
yeah, but also like I say, some of these ladies have a passion for the sport. Sometimes I've known ladies who sat out. We just saw a couple ladies. I saw a couple ladies who had competed almost 20 years. A lady by the name of Carmen Brady. And if anybody remember, if you know Carmen Brady, she played Starla, the girlfriend in Napoleon Dynamite. She just got a pro card just this summer. This woman
Yeah.
is in her 60s, come back, compete, got a pro card. Sometimes some people I knew women who got their pro card and said they were done. But it's up to that person where they want to go, how far they want to go as a competitor.
I just love being super fit, beyond the limit, like beyond the norm, you know. But I do have to find better business because competition business is kind of bad business sometimes because you're putting more into it than you're getting paid, unfortunately, because they just don't give women much money. But I love being fit. Don't get me wrong. Crap, if I wasn't old, I would try for the I would try for the WWE, but I'm past the age limit. I can't get in there.
I think
So
Yeah, I think he usually like to pick the more young competitors. That's why I find a lot of the small organizations like there's a like some of these small organizations where they do have certain wrestlers, and then if unless you like been a long standing talent, where if it's a man, they usually give you a little more willy way as a man, but women they usually go with the younger girls like there's Roxy over there, or her name is Roxanne Perez, but call her Roxy. She's like 22 now. There's Nikita Lyons, I think she's in her mid 20s also. They just picked up Jay Cargill, beautiful physique. I mean, she could be. I have to say this, like she could be maybe a figure level bodybuilder, fitness level bodybuilder. But yeah, off is I remember I found this picture of Linda Murray. She did wrestling, tried out for a bit, and that's right after she lost to Kim Zavetsky back
aw.
in '96. Yeah, we got here from Money J says, Mela is overdoing the amount of shows she's competing in. I agree. Mela should take a break, have some time off. Yeah, I like Mela. I think she should think about this. Also, this is from Money J again. He says, I had no idea Natalia Guerrero has rich parents. That's news to me. Well, I didn't either. That's new. I knew she was the only child because the way she acts. You can tell. See, I grew up in my house, and I'm number in the totem pole. I'm number 9. I'm actually number 7 out of 9 because I have a younger brother, younger sister, and had an older brother from my father's previous relationship, my younger sister from my father's previous relationship, and he has 6 from my mother. We're supposed to be 7 of us, but one passed away for his childbirth. My third eldest sister married. Tomorrow will be her 57th birthday, and
Aw.
yeah, she passed away. It's been going to be 5 years. No, 6. 6. She passed away in 2017, and she was me and her. This is how my mom would say it like this: my older brother, my older sister, and my younger brother took after my father's side. My my second older sister and my second older brother, they took after my mother's side, and me and my sister Mary took after my grandmother's side, my father's mother. But that's how it is. So we are here from KL. He says this. He says, "Well, I think Native Americans could be Asians. They were continents that shook together and rises up. They could have migrated to America in a prehistoric age. Am I just saying from what I know? Yeah, there's some aspects of it because the countries were all united at one point, and then after a while, boom, break. But yeah, there's some aspects of it. So, as you know, are you considering to come back and do one more one next year, or are you just gonna stack your chips and just wait and chill out?
I don't know. I have to. I have to. Um, the deciding factors lay um in the balance of health and finance.
Mm-hmm.
So if two of those are going for me, then I could see it happening. But if one of those are not happening, or both of them are not happening, then no, I can't do a show if I don't have my health and I don't have the financing. Because let me tell you, these shows cost a lot of money, and you
Mm-hmm.
have to have the right stuff to get ready. And if your body is rejecting or acting weird or doing something it's not supposed to do, you ain't going to come in right. So you got those two things that you really have to really kind of hope and pray are 100%, because if they're not, you're going to have an issue. So I could tell you right now, sure, I'll do another one. I don't know when. Or I could tell you right now, no, I'm not. None of those answers would be true. I honestly don't know. I have to see what happens 2024. I have to see the schedule, see what's going on, see what shows are available, see what the time frames are. There's a lot that goes into it. It's like playing a game of chess. Like, I have to make sure everything is lined up just right.
Yeah, it's about timing, money, everything. What you feel like works with your schedule, because you have a new job now, and
Exactly.
yeah. And I know a while back I did an interview with one of your friends who also you train in post. That's Tiffany B-Row, and she seems like she's a nice young woman. She has a passion for bodybuilding. She does bikini, but I think she said that I think the last one told her that I think she might need to switch up to figure. Right, we did talking to her about, because she's still a little bit thick in some areas. You know how the bikini girls have become very small. It can't be too
Well,
thick.
my biggest thing with her, it wasn't really how tiny she or not